Welcome to the Quickbooks Video Series presented by Protea Academy. In episode 3, we'll be looking at importing data into QuickBooks. To access the Input Data tab, click on the gear icon in the top right-hand corner and under tabs, click on Input Data. You'll see there are 6 different types of data we can input: bank data, customers, vendors, chart of accounts, products and services, and invoices. Let's take a look at bank data. The recommended way of inputting bank transactions is to link your bank account automatically to QuickBooks. We'll take a look at this later in the series. For now, we'll be looking at manually uploading transactions. These are the different types of files you can use to upload transactions. This is an example of a CSV file you would use to input your data. We have a date column, description column, and amount column. In the amount column, it's important to note that positives mean income and negatives mean expenses. We then select this file from our computer and click Continue. We then have to decide which bank account we want to input the transactions into. Click the drop-down list and select the bank account. Click Continue. Here we have to decide on some options. The first one is asking, is the first row in your data a header? Click Yes if this is the case. The second question is, how many columns are amounts? We only have one column. You then have to choose the date format as well. Slide down to make sure that your columns correlate with the columns from your Excel. Click Continue. This is to show you all the transactions that will be inputted into QuickBooks and how it looks. Select all the transactions, scroll to the bottom and click Continue. This is just telling you how many transactions it would import. Click the Done icon. Let's now go check on our transactions. As you can see in our bank transactions, all 14 transactions have been imported. Let's go back to the Input Data tab. The next section to look at is Customers. On the Customers tab, they give you a sample file that you can upload your data from. Let's take a look at the sample file. The sample file gives you the headings you need, and you will then input the data below. I've added our customer names, our company names, and all other relevant information. You can also add an opening balance in this column if you're not just starting out your company, as well as the date of the opening balance. Once you have your Excel, find it on your computer to upload into QuickBooks. You can also use a Google Sheet, where then you'll use this block to upload. Click Next. It now shows you which columns it's pulling from the Excel, and you need to make sure that the columns match what QuickBooks is saying. Once you're happy, you can click on the Next. Over here, it shows you exactly the details it's going to add into QuickBooks. You can even edit some of the data on this tab. Once you're happy, click Import. Let's go take a look to see at the customers it's imported. Here are the customers that have been imported from the Excel file. The next section we'll look at is vendors. This is very similar to the customers. You can download a sample file from this screen. Also, you can use the Google Sheet. Upload the file from your computer. Here is the example of the vendors file. As before, it looks very similar to the customer's file, and you can add the opening balance and opening balance date as well. Once you're happy with your file, click Next. The same thing appears as with the customers. Check that your columns match your Excel columns. Here it's showing you again the detail of the vendors it's going to import. Let's quickly take a look at the vendors QuickBooks we have imported into QuickBooks. The next thing we'll do is our chart of accounts. This looks similar to the customers and vendors tab. Here is the example of the sample file that I just downloaded from QuickBooks. It has account numbers, names, type, and detail type. You would enter the information that you want to input into these columns. Find the file on your computer and input it into QuickBooks. Click Next. As you can see, you need to agree the columns to QuickBooks. There was some data in the Excel that we might not want to input. Just unclick that line and that line won't be imported. Click on Import. As we already set up our chart of accounts last week, I'm not going to import in this video. Click on Products and Services. This page looks a bit different, but the concept is still the same. We want to click on the Import CSV. Let's take a look at the sample CSV. Here we have products and service name, sales description, SKU, type, sales price, taxable or not, the income account, expense account, and inventory account. The type of product and service you want to input is very important. If you have an inventory account, then remember you need to have an inventory asset account under that column. Find the CSV file on your computer. Here's where you can download the sample. Once you're happy, click Next. This is to agree your columns to the Excel file. Some columns can be blank. Click Next. Your data will then appear here. As you can see, because I'm a Simple Start member, I don't have an option to add inventory. So selecting the right QuickBooks file for you is important. This is where I go and select my income accounts because it didn't recognize the name of my account when I imported. But I can just quickly select the accounts in this column to make sure that my income is going to the correct account. Once you are happy, you can go and click Save at the bottom right-hand corner. Let's go take a look at the products and service items we have imported. As you can see, all my items have imported and are ready to be used in the processing of income and inventory items. Let's look at our last option, invoices. This is if you want to import customer invoices into QuickBooks. Click here to make sure that any new customers get added. You can also download the sample file. Find the file you want to input on your computer and upload it. Make sure the columns in QuickBooks match what you have on your Excel and that the date column is in the right format. We just inputted 4 invoices. Let's quickly take a look at the Excel sample file that we get from QuickBooks. Over here, you have invoice number, customer name, the date and due date, terms, and other important information. Once you've filled out this information, it's ready to upload. Let's go take a look at the invoices we uploaded. Here we can see the 4 invoices, all good and uploaded. Thank you for watching episode 3 of the QuickBooks video series presented by Protea Academy. In episode 4, we look at linking bank accounts.